Welcome to The Author Show, where we present new authors and books. From fiction to self-help and everything in between, you'll find it all here. To watch the TV version of our program, visit authorswebtv.com. That's authorswebtv.com. And now, let the show begin.
Hello and welcome back to the show. This is your host, Don McCauley. Today we're welcoming the program author Deanie Humphrys-Dunne, and she is the author of Charlene the Star and Bentley, Bulldog. Deanie is a children's book author with 5 books published at this time. Award-winning autobiography, Tales of Sweetbriar, Charlie the Horse, Charlene the Star and Hattie's Heroes, and Charlene the Star and Bentley Bulldog. All of her books offer positive messages for children. Her sister beautifully illustrates her books, and she's been featured on various radio shows and received several blogging award nominations. Deanie, how are you?
Fine, thank you, and I hope you're doing well as well.
Let's start with a big question. Tell us about this book, please.
Charlene the Star and Bentley Bulldog is an entertaining story, and it's the 3rd one in my Charlene the Star series. This time, Charlene the Star, a beautiful red horse, sets a big goal. She wants to become the best jumper in the state of Kentucky. She even has her first romance, and Hattie the chicken has to cheer up her friends, so she makes a plan to keep her friends from being depressed. And she finds out that she has a lot of interesting talents as well.
Now, who did you write your book for specifically?
This book would be very good for middle grade students, like 9 to 12 years old, and also parents and teachers, because it has a lot of good lessons in it. And anyone who likes stories that are amusing would like it, and anyone who loves animals would really like this story.
Now, would you say there's any type of central message or perhaps underlying theme that you could say runs throughout your book?
I would say that would be that everyone has talents, and that if someone is on the wrong path, they can change their ways once they realize that they're doing the wrong thing.
Now, if you had to choose, what would you say is the single most important idea you're sharing in this book that's really going to add value to the reader's life?
I would say that they would need to know that everyone has talents, and even sometimes we haven't discovered those talents yet. You don't even know you have them a lot of the times. And also that if you know that you have those talents, you'll be happier and you'll have healthy self-esteem as well.
Now, if you could compare your book with any book out there we might already be familiar with, which book would it be and why?
I think the book would be Babe, the story about the pig, because animals are in the center of that story. They have the center stage, and they all work together to solve problems.
Tell us about the characters in the book.
Well, of course, Bentley Bulldog is one of the stars, and he's pretty obnoxious at first, so everyone will remember who he is and what he does. And also we have Cherish chicken, Elliot the dog, Hattie, Charlene the Star, and William the sheep, just to mention a few of them.
So what is it that you feel really makes this book unique?
I think because the animals narrate the story, that makes it different from most of the books, and the readers will learn about the animals' thoughts and actions that are pretty amusing, and then they'll enjoy the animals' different personalities too.
What do you think children will remember about your book?
I think that they'll remember that it's fun to read. They'll remember the interesting characters, and hopefully they'll remember some of the lessons that are shared in the story. And for sure they're going to love Holly's illustrations, my sister's illustrations.
How did you choose the name of your characters?
Sometimes I consider what kind of animal it is in the story, and sometimes it's something that the character does. For example, Hattie the chicken, she loves to wear hats, so I thought the name Hattie would be just perfect for her. And my husband helped me out when we were thinking of the name for William the sheep, because he thought of William, which is really a cute name for a sheep, I think.
What age would you say your book is most appropriate for?
I think middle grade readers around 9 to 12 would be the best for it, but sometimes if they're an advanced reader, they could start it a little bit earlier than that.
What kind of values are being taught in the book that you feel would really appeal from an educator's point of view?
I think that it's important. It shares a lot of different values, like helping, like teamwork and helping one another. And it also deals a little bit with bullying because Bentley is a bully in the beginning, and we talk about what to do with that, and setting goals because Charlene the Star has big goals. So there are a lot of different lessons that would be helpful.
Who does the illustrations for the book?
My sister, Holly Humphries-Dunne, does the illustrations and the covers. She's really talented, and for Charlene the Star and Bentley Bulldog, she made the colors on the cover really bright and pretty, and she just does detailed illustrations that are extraordinary.
What has been your most rewarding experience since publishing this book?
Well, since I've started writing, I think the most rewarding thing was when my story, Tales of Sweetbriar, won an award in the Feathered Quill Book Awards. It got the silver medal in the Feathered Quill Book Awards.
If someone were to write a book about your life, what would the title be?
I think I'd call it How to Make Your Dreams Come True, because that's what I did with my whole life when I was growing up. My dad and I figured out how we could overcome challenges and get to make our dreams come true.
How would you describe your writing style?
In this book, the animals talk, so they tell the story, and I think that's what makes it different than most books. But I don't know if that's really a style, but that's what happens in this story. The animals take center stage when they're telling the story.
Who or what would you say influenced your writing the most?
I think it was my parents, because they always told me when I was a little girl that I should write a book. And of course, I thought that was a silly idea then, but once I started with it, it wasn't so silly at all.
Now, are your characters pure fiction, or do you draw from people you know in real life?
They're pure fiction. In this story, they're pure fiction. Except that our dog Elliot is in it, and he's a real dog. And in the story, it's a little bit like his personality. The Elliot in the story is a little bit like our dog's personality.
Would you say that you're more of a character artist or more a plot-driven writer?
I think you need both when you write children's stories. In order to make the book interesting, you have to have an engaging plot and interesting characters that they can relate to.
Other than selling your work, of course, is there anything else you hope to accomplish with it?
I hope that it shares some valuable lessons that children and teachers and parents would enjoy learning about. And that's what I'd really like to do, is share the lessons with them and help them to have happier lives.
In your opinion, who should buy this book?
I think it would be great for 9 to 12-year-olds, 3rd to 6th grade students, and also parents and teachers, because it shares a lot of important life lessons. And anyone who likes stories that are humorous would like it, and anyone who loves animals would really love this story.
Well, time is getting very short, so the most important question, where can readers find you and your book?
My books are on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. They're on paperback and on Kindle, and also you could buy them from my website, www.childrensbookswithlifelessons.com, or you can email me at deanie@dhdunne.tk for signed copies.
Could you spell your name for us, please?
DeanieHumphries-Dunne.
Well, this has been just great. Our guest today has been Deanie Humphrys-Dunne, and she is the author of Charlene the Star and Bentley Bulldog. Deanie, thanks very much for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me. We had fun together. Thank you very much.
This is Don McCauley wrapping up another edition of The Author Show. Please share this interview with your family and friends so that they too may have the opportunity to discover our guest and her work. And why not spread the word on social media? We look forward to you joining us next time for another great book and another great author on The Author Show.
Thanks for listening to The Author Show. To contact us, call toll-free 1-877-955-8800. That's 877-955-8800. Or visit theauthorshow.com. That's theauthorshow.com. Tune in next time to another great author on The Author Show.